that Sam gets his lunch packed before you go to school? Make sure he gets to class. I know Miss Mahoney's been really upset that he's been late lately, and he gets mad at me when that happens.
Mm-hmm. Hello? Dad? Dad, what are you talking about? Are you drunk? Or are you having another episode? Well, are you taking your medicine? Dad, why not? You know Mom said we can't talk to you unless you're taking your medicine. Well, we can't take care of you, and if you're not taking care of yourself, we're not allowed to talk to you. I have to hang up. I need to go to school.
Was that your dad?
Yeah.
Did you tell him what I said?
I did.
About not talking to him unless he's taking his med and gets his act together?
Yes, I told him.
Okay, good. Hey, honey.
How's everything going?
I'm a little bit stressed. I'm really late for work. Can you make sure the kids get to school?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I really need to get to the hospital.
Okay, I'll pack
Sam.
your lunch and I'll take them to school so you can get to work on time.
Thank you so much.
He's doing it again. He's not eating.
I'm not hungry. Mr. Jones isn't hungry either. We have other things to take care of.
Sam, we have to go.
Tell us about yourself. What are some of your interests?
I'm Lauren. I'm Sam's sister. I'm in the 8th grade and on the A honor roll for the 2nd semester in a row. I really like school and all my teachers are really nice. I guess I've always been good at school. I normally get pretty good grades. My favorite subjects are algebra and English. I'm also really involved in my church group, Teen Spirit. We meet every Wednesday night and it's nice to be surrounded by happy people who want to feed you and make sure you're happy and warm. I wish I could spend more time there. They're the only real friends I have.
Can you tell us a bit about your family?
Things have been pretty crazy around the house ever since my parents split up 4 years ago. I guess I understand why they did it. Dad never stayed on his meds, and that made him act super weird. But I think he's doing better now. We're allowed to talk to him as long as he's in an okay mindset. The whole thing upset Mom a lot, since she already had to take care of Sam and I and work 2 jobs. She said she couldn't handle a 3rd kid, which he acted like when he was really out of control. Things have been better since she met Rick, though. That's my stepdad. But I can tell she's still really stressed out about everything. She's always working or locked up in her room, upset and tired. We don't get to hang out much, really. I know she's doing her best, though. It's hard seeing her struggle so much, and I feel like I should be doing more to help out. Especially with Sam, because he's been a handful lately. Like the terrible twos, but worse. He never listens and acts totally crazy sometimes. It's like he's on another planet. And I don't even know who this Mr. Jones guy is. It's weird, I don't know. Little brothers are just the worst. I want to help my mom, but I don't always know how. I feel like I shouldn't bug her with my own problems because she has so much going on already. I think maybe all this stress is the reason why I've gained weight lately. I tell myself it's just a phase, that I'm growing, but kids at school sometimes make fun of me. I can't always help it because Mom doesn't have time to cook very often. It's just easier to eat the ready-made type meals. She buys those and the quick packaged snacks all the time. But they don't know how rough it's been. They don't know what it's been like. Maybe eating is just how I handle the stress. I don't really know.
What do you do for work?
I work 2 jobs. It's kind of what you have to do to pay the bills in our house. I work as a nurse's assistant during the day at the local hospital, but at night I also work as a waitress to, help put food on the table, help give my kids the things that they need and give them a good life. But I work a lot.
Can you describe your ex-husband?
Oh, I can describe Fred. Fred and I, we met when we were kids, and he was he was great. He was cool, and he was exciting. He was wild and impulsive, and I liked that. I loved that about him when we were little, but then we got married, we got older. First we had Lauren, and then we had Sam. And then it was tough. He was like, he was never there. I needed him. I needed to be the dad for our kids. And he'd just disappear sometimes. It always seemed like there were issues with drugs or he couldn't hold down a steady job. So I was working all the time to make ends meet, put food on the table, raise my kids. And he just wasn't helping out with any of that. So finally I couldn't take it. I had to leave him. And I took the kids and cut him out of my life.
What was Sam like when he was little?
Sam was a handful. It's tough because Lauren was such a good baby when she was little. You know, she was happy, she was easygoing, she didn't cry a lot. So when Sam came along, I thought, or I hoped, because Lauren was so good, it would be similar with him, but he was just a handful. It's like he was never happy. He wasn't loving. It was hard for me as a mom to be able to have a kid who just like strained you so much and stressed you out as much as Sam did.
And how is Rick?
Rick is great. I met him after I divorced my husband, and I'm so lucky I've met that man. He supports me. He supports the kids. I think a lot of dads sometimes when they marry in with a mom who has kids maybe don't see the kids as their own or don't want to help take care of them. But Rick, he's like on my team. He helps with the kids. He helps me out. And things are better, definitely, than when I was married to Fred and when I was a single mom. But I'm still stressed out a lot. I cry a lot. I'll admit it. Sometimes I yell. I struggle.
And when did you first notice something was really wrong with Sam?
I mean, Sam was one of those kids who was always a little odd. So when he was talking to these imaginary people and mentioned someone named Mr. Jones, I just thought that was a kid thing. I thought, you know, all kids at some point, it feels like they have imaginary friends. So I thought that was just one of them. And maybe he was a little old to have one, but it didn't seem that weird to me. I mean, no one's really around a lot, so Sam's kind of on his own a lot of the time. So I thought that was just how he passes his time and does things. Because he doesn't really have us to play with him because we work so much. But then his teacher called us recently after he'd been having trouble in school, and then there was this event that happened.
What are you worried most about?
I'm worried about Sam and just how he's doing. It's hard to see my kids suffer. I'm also just worried. I don't want people to think I'm a bad mom. You know, I love my kids and I work really hard. And I don't want people to think I can't take care of him or I messed him up somehow. Like I did something bad as a mom to make him be like this. So I'm just worried that something went wrong, and I really hope it wasn't me. And I really hope people don't think that. And I hope that Sam just turns out okay.
So tell us about yourself.
My name is Sam. I'm 10 years old. I'm in the 4th grade. Can you turn the lights down, please? Why are you shining them at me? What are you doing here?
So Sam, tell us about school. What are you learning about this year?
I go to school 5 days a week because I have to. But sometimes when I go to school, I'm not learning. I'm not even really in school. I have more important things to take care of. Ms. Mahoney used to understand that. I liked her until she tried to get me killed. Mr. Jones and I hate Miss Mahoney now. I bet my dad hates her too, my real dad. I wish my dad and Mr. Jones could meet because I think they would be best friends, just like him and I are.
How did Miss Mahoney try to get you killed? And who is Mr. Jones? Sam? Who is Mr. Jones?
Mr. Jones is my best friend.
Can you tell me more about him?
Mr. Jones is the smartest person I know. The second smartest is my dad, my real dad. He was so smart that he skipped the 7th and 8th grade and went straight to high school. Mr. Jones, I mean. Now he's 45 years old and he's 6 feet tall. His hair is always perfectly parted down the middle and he's never late for anything. He's the smartest and nicest person that I know.
Why do you think he's so smart?
He notices things that nobody else in the entire world notices. And I'm so lucky because he points these things out to me. And thank God he does, because if he didn't tell me, then some horrible things would happen to me and my family.
Can you give me an example? Sam, can you give us an example?
An example. I was sitting in class a few weeks ago and something didn't feel right. I get that feeling a lot. Sometimes it's a good thing, but sometimes it's a bad thing. So I noticed that this really strange thing was happening. I whispered to my friend who was sitting next to me and I told him to look at the ceiling light because it was flickering in a really freaky way. It was flickering to the beat of a song that I'd heard on the radio all week. There's no way that was a coincidence. Then I noticed that the light was also making a loud buzzing noise too, and the buzzing was kind of talking to me. It was talking to me and Mr. Jones. I got so confused because I couldn't understand why this light was harassing me. But Mr. Jones told me it's a sign. He's so smart. Mr. Jones is the smartest person I know. He told me that a UFO had landed on the roof of my school, and I was just minutes away from being sucked up through the light and being abducted by the aliens. I was so angry that nobody else could understand what was going on and no one could help me. Mr. Jones told me that if I didn't save myself, the aliens would abduct me and every single person in my classroom. The only way I could have saved myself was by escaping the classroom and getting to the lowest point on the ground as fast as possible. So I got out of my seat, ran out of my chair, and ran to the window. I was just about to jump, but Miss Mahoney stopped me. She wanted me to get killed.
But you didn't get killed, did you?
Not that time.
I'm Miss Mahoney, Sam's teacher. I've been teaching for about 7 years now at the Longfellow Elementary School. I've known the Charnwood family for about 4 years. I had a great relationship with their daughter, Lauren, when she was in my class. Lauren is an excellent student and she studies very hard. She spent a lot of time at school, after school, the year she was in my classroom. Her parents were going through a divorce at the time. But let me get back to Sam. Sam is a very interesting child. When he was younger, I would see him in passing, but I didn't see the behaviors that I've been seeing recently. The most recent episode in the classroom, when he accused me of trying to kill him, that is terrifying as a teacher, because those accusations are not taken lightly.
How is your relationship with the Charnwood family now?
I have definitely seen the family change over the past 4 years. Lauren has always opened up to me about her parents' divorce. Her father has been quite challenging to communicate with. It's hard to convince him to come to the teacher conferences that I set up. Danielle is very sweet and hardworking. I am so happy that she found Rick. Rick will check in with me in the morning sometimes and is very pleasant. When Danielle drops Sam off in the morning, she always seems like she's rushed, always in a hurry and very stressed. It's hard to get a hold of her to discuss Sam and his behaviors.
What do you know about Mr. Jones?
I'm very confused about Sam's friend, Mr. Jones. At first I thought Mr. Jones was a real person, and I was very scared about his role in Sam's life because he told me that he is 45 years old and he's a man. I was suspicious of abuse when Sam started saying things that Mr. Jones made him do. I have started having conversations with Danielle about Mr. Jones and trying to understand why he keeps getting Sam in these situations. It seems that his grades have been slipping ever since he talked about Mr. Jones, and he's really not connecting with the other children in the classroom. I need help to manage Sam's current behaviors. It has become unsafe for him, and I fear for my other students in the class. Who knows what Mr. Jones will have Sam do next?
I don't even understand why you people drag me in here. I've told Danielle this a million times. Sam is fine. He's a 10-year-old boy. They have fantasies and do crazy things sometimes. What 10-year-old boy doesn't believe in aliens? Hell, I still believe in aliens. I'm 41. And aliens are trying to abduct me every day. I was just like Sam when I was 10 and I turned out fine. Maybe not if you talk to my ex-wife, but I think she's crazy, if you ask me. It's the influence of this goddamn Rick in the household, trying to make Sam out to be crazy, trying to make our family look bad.
Can you tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well right now. I have a job working as a security guard at the gym. It's a way to pay the bills, but it's hard for me to keep jobs sometimes. I really have my ups and downs. Sometimes when I'm really up, I'll stop going to work because I'll swear I can come up with the cure for cancer, and then who needs some stupid security job, right? But that hasn't worked out so well for me so far. My wife decided to leave me because she said I was no good for her or the kids. But to be honest, I think she just wanted me out of the house so that she could marry that Rick. They started going steady right after I moved out, so I'm not an idiot. But anyways, now I see Sam and Lauren just once in a while on the weekends, and not even sometimes every weekend when Danielle tells me not to. Danielle keeps telling me I can't see them if I don't take my meds. They're my kids and I should have the right to see them if I want to.
Can you tell us more about Sam's problems lately?
I wouldn't even call them problems. Danielle and his teacher are trying to say there's something wrong with him, which is why he's acting out. I don't see how this is any different than what kids normally do. That's why they're trying to drug him too, It's like this ADHD bullshit. Can I swear on this program? Oh well, ADHD crap. Medicating all the boys with natural levels of energy to make it easier to control them. They've been trying to medicate me for years, but I don't want to go through life drugged, and I don't see why my kids should have to either.
How do you feel about seeing your kids so infrequently?
I really miss my kids. My wife doesn't let me see them nearly enough, and it's hard to see Rick trying to replace me as their father, trying to make them forget I even exist. Even the other day I called and talked to my daughter, and I could just tell that their brainwashing was starting to work. She was trying to get me to take my meds too, and wouldn't even let me talk to Sam. It's just sad, really. I'm their dad, you know?
Tell us about yourself, Rick.
Well, my name is Rick. I work as a construction worker. I'm not rich or anything, but I try my best to provide for my family. When I met Danielle, I didn't quite know what I was getting into, and boy, can I say, it's been overwhelming. This is all new for me. I've never really been a dad before, and I sure as hell have not dealt with kids like this. It's been an adjustment, to say the least, but I think I'm doing a good job at adjusting. I'm getting used to spending more time with the kids, and it's sad to say that I spend more time with them than I do with my wife. Regardless, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Can you tell us about your new family?
Will they see this? I mean, things have been hectic lately. Lauren, well, she's a teenager, and you know how they are. Sam, well, he's a different story. These kids, they've had a really hard time. Their dad really wasn't around, and he has issues of his own. Danielle, well, she tries her best, but things have been really tough for her. She's been raising those kids practically on her own. Sam thinks about this Mr. Jones character, and it kind of scares everyone. Lauren, well, she tries to do her own thing with her church choir and tries to put a front on like everything's okay, but I know it really hurts her inside, that her dad isn't around, and I know those kids at school pick on her. My wife, she really loves those kids though. She works harder than anyone I know. She works at the hospital and at the restaurant, but I worry about her sometimes. I love her so much, and it hurts me that I can't be of greater help to her in relieving her stress. She worries and she's anxious all the time, but she always tells me how she and the kids appreciate me. That's all I really need to hear, because despite all the craziness, I love them all.
Can you tell us more about your relationship with Sam?
Sam, he's a boy. A very different boy. He's special. He has a lot of things going on in that head of his. I know he misses his dad, Fred, a lot. Sometimes I feel like he isn't here, here. He wanders a lot. I get worried about him sometimes. But I'm just happy that he's around me and not Fred. I don't think he would have been a good influence for him. But Sam, he's a cool kid though. He's unique and he likes to make his own rules. I love him like he's my own.
Thank you for coming in today. I know how busy you are with work.
It's
but-
okay if it's for Sam and getting better and we want to know.
So, as you know, with the behaviors recently and this last one, when he was saying I was trying to kill him, I think we all know that it was just to keep his body safe. I was doing the best I can, and I think we really need to start talking about how to handle Mr. Jones and the role that he's playing in Sam's life. I know that you've been seeing it at home too, so it's something that we can work on together. You shouldn't have to feel like you're doing this by yourself. So I've been talking with the school psychologist, and she has offered to come in and observe Sam's behavior in the classroom. I think it'd be great too if we could journal back and forth. You can tell me what has happened at home or at night, if he had a hard night, if he was talking to Mr. Jones in his room, just so I could have some information on what might be triggering his behaviors once he is in school. Here are some pamphlets that I've gathered about resources in the area. You might want to talk to Sam's pediatrician too and include him on what you've been seeing at home, and I am more than happy to write a report and share documentation with his pediatrician as well.
Thank you so much.
his academics aren't where the other children are. It's a little behind. So I'm thinking this is something that we can think about together, that it would be best for Sam to repeat the 4th grade, because right now our priorities is his social emotional development and getting him through this year in this phase of Mr. Jones. And so if you're both on board, we should go ahead and start working with the psychologist and trying to help Sam.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you have any other questions for me?
Thank you so much for all you've been doing for our kids,
No
especially when
problem.
things have been rough for us.
No, I completely understand, and I'm here for you.
Thank you, Miss
Yeah.
Mahoney.
You're welcome.
Alright, good morning.
Thanks, Mom. Sam, remember our new rule. No flashlights at the table. Thank
Mr.
you.
Jones is going to be very upset if I can't use my flashlight at the table. Mr. Jones tells me that I need to have my
Hey
flashlight.
Sam, remember how we talked with your therapist about how you're in control of your actions? And that Mr. Jones isn't. You have that control.
Right.
Thank you for putting your phone away.
Don't forget my choir performance is at 6 tonight. You guys are going to be there, right?
Of course.
Yeah, we'd love to do that.
And remember, Sam, we're gonna work on your homework when we get back from her performance, okay?
Remember how we always do 30 minutes like Miss Mahoney asked?
30 minutes tonight. Yep.
So things have gotten better. It's still a work in progress, but me and Danielle, we've been going to couples therapy, and sometimes we even include Sam so that, we can form a better relationship as parent and son. And then, they've been teaching me some coping strategies so that I can better deal with Sam when he has his moments, and form that good relationship so I can be a better resource to him. And then, me and Danielle, we make sure to have a little time so that, we can get away from the kids.
Yeah, in addition to what Rick said, I've also been going to a support group for parents who have kids who are like Sam. And I think I'm really learning that I am a good mom, and that I love my son and we're doing the best we can for him in a tough situation. And I'm also learning that I'm not alone, and other people are going through what I am, and they have a lot of good advice for me about how to help him.
It's been great seeing Mom and Rick working together to make our family run more smoothly. Things don't feel stressed out around the house, and I've been going to therapy, and I'm able to focus more on my own problems because I don't focus so much on my mom or Sam's stress.
Things have started to look different in the classroom as well. Sam is with me this year again, which I'm really excited about, to watch him learn and grow. I have met with his pediatrician, I have met with school psychologists, and we've all conferenced a number of times comparing notes and observations and the evaluations that have been done on Sam, so we all have an understanding, and that I've shared with Danielle and Rick as well. In the classroom, we have motivation charts that we have incorporated, and Sam is working on his homework every day with his family members, and so we're getting there, and we're catching up on our schoolwork, and it's a work in progress.
I'm in Miss Mahoney's class again this year. I like her again. I don't think she tried to kill me last year. Now, I still hear Mr. Jones's voice, but last year I started meeting some new grown-ups. I take medicine in the morning, and at first I was sad because I didn't hear Mr. Jones's voice as much and I started to miss him. But then there were new adults in my life, and they were nice and they were smart too. And they taught me that I was in control of my body, and that Mr. Jones, he didn't tell me what to do, and that some of the things that I were doing were kind of dangerous. So now when I hear his voice, I can tell these grown-ups, and I can tell my mom, and I can tell Rick, and I tell Miss Mahoney, and now I don't feel like I'm going to get in trouble, and they listen to me. So I hear Mr. Jones from time to time, but now it's something that I talk about with my family.